Janice Clier lives in Wisconsin, and she got in touch with me the other day and said there was a sale on at Joann's and did I want any patterns, and I chose 4 patterns and I liked them. She said, and her comment was, I couldn't imagine you having that. Did you get that for your daughter? And I thought, well, yes I did, and no I didn't, because I fancied trying it myself. The first one is the Simplicity S9121, which is a top with trousers, and it fits all of them. It's for children and adults. And I at first I thought, oh, I quite like the twosome there. I quite like that. But I also thought it would be quite nice, even if I didn't like it, I could make pyjamas out of it or something. It's a nice style. It was more the top, but then I thought I could make the trousers as well. So that was one, S9121. That's the back drawings there. So that was the first one. The second one was this Simplicity S8991. I liked the shape of the neck there, and that you can see the front diagrams, and there's the back one. And it's a hacking one, this one. If you can see there, let me get my, it shows you that you can hack in those places. You can make the sleeves shorter, you can cut them there like that to make a shorter sleeve there. Basically, this hacking is basically, they're showing you can do 3 different things. Oh, and there's a nice jacket there. I didn't see the jacket. That's quite nice. I might try that one as well. I hadn't noticed the jacket. So it says, we provide the basics, you create the possibilities. It's easy to design, build and customize your look with our pattern hacking pieces and techniques. Then the third one I liked so much, I not only bought from Janice, but I bought it from elsewhere. Before it arrived, I couldn't remember which patterns I'd ordered from Janice, and of course they arrived and I thought, oh, I'm sure I've seen that one, and here it was ones that I'd ordered. So I'm going to show you in another vlog some more patterns that I've ordered. This is New Look N6607. I was taken by the jacket, and then when I saw it's actually got a dress there and a little blouse, so I quite like that. I'm not so keen on on the fact that the back is gathered. Yeah, so I'm not so keen on the gathers at the back, but I might change that to something else. I might make it less gathered. See what happens there. The last one is Simplicity S8988A, a cozy sweater. I do like this. I love the picture, and I made one. But when I made it, I did that version there, where it's got a band across the top. Only I didn't have enough fabric, did I? So my top, let's show you, is this one. It has the band at the top, but the sleeves are proper sleeves. There's no line going down, and it's all one colour, and it was used with cheap fabric, and I think that was the downfall. I really need to make it with proper fabric, so I'll show you what it looks like. Right, well, this is what I made it. This is the green that I made it from. I've just put it on, my earrings dropped off. Hang on. I like the green. There's a yoke that goes across there, but because this is like a very fine t-shirt fabric, the yoke, let's see if I can drop it down a bit, I've top stitched over the seam. It's not lying right, and I've got the same thing here. I've got a seam there, it has a seam there. The sleeves, I didn't have a piece that went down there. I've actually had to make it out of 2 pieces. I've got 2 pieces, a front and a back, and there's a seam up there and a seam up there. But it's not too bad. I think it's the pattern here. Sometimes when you have a pattern, this pattern here goes down like that, and it makes me look like I'm one-sided with my boobs. It's not doing much for me, but I think with the right fabric it will look lovely. I think a plain fabric rather than a pattern fabric. But this is just the toile, so I'm really not bothered. This is just the toile. Is it me, or is it This is just the toile, so I'm not bothered at all about this, but I do know it'll look lovely if I make it up again in a nicer fabric, so watch this space. Hi everybody, it is December the 5th. Is it the 5th or is it the 4th? It's December the 5th and it's a Saturday, and I thought I'd get a little quick vlog in for you, just to do the advent calendars and things. I have, you'll see, I like that t-shirt so much I bought another 2 on Amazon. This one's a pink one. This one I like in a sense, but not in another way. Can I see it? It goes nice with the pink hair. Goes nice with the pink hair. I do like it. It's a little bit too long. Goes right down to there. Not too bad though. Can't complain. The other one's grey and it has a contrast sleeve like this. It's actually like a very thin t-shirty type of wool. I don't know if you can see. It's actually like a wool. Sleeves are a little bit too long, so I'm turning them up. Sleeves are a little bit too long, so I have to turn them up a little bit. But I often pull my sleeves up anyway to have them like a 3/4 length sleeve. So that suits me. Now then, what else do I want to tell you? Not much to say. So let's get on. Oh, I'm tilt you up a bit. Bit too low. So let's get on with the advent calendars. I've got two things I've got to make before Christmas, and they're both the same thing. It's a purse that my daughter, I made for my daughter, and I made for Debbie, who used to work for us. Debbie, my daughter, told me that hers is worn out now. I think I made it about 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and they both loved them. My daughter's, she rang up a few weeks back and said, Mum, it's finally given up on me. I love it. Can you make me another one? And Debbie said the same thing. She says, I need a new one. I need a replacement. Can you get me one? So I said, oh, fingers crossed I get it done before Christmas. So I've got the fabric lined up. I've got to get the pattern cut out, and then I'll start making it. And I think somebody asked me how you do it, so I might see if I can if I have the time to film it for you. Now then, advent calendars. Let's get on with the advent calendars. Hemline is the first one, and we are on day 5, so it's at the very bottom here. Now shall we have fun again, and I'll get you to, I'll try and translate what it says. Right, number 5. Is that it? Right. I'm going to open the lid, and what does it say? Pofistas Nils Trash. Pofistas Nils Trash. Oh, polyester white thread. Well, we had the black one before. I should have realised that. Black one, now we've got the white one. So, white polyester thread. So, that's quite good because, well, it's not good. It's the black one that I'm always running short of. But white polyester thread. I'll stick it on an empty pin there. So, we'll put that back. So, white polyester thread. Can't complain about that, ladies and gentlemen. Put that back into there. Number 6 is a long one. That's for tomorrow. A long one. I'm looking forward to that one. And now then, to the L'Occitane. L'Occitane, number 6. Have I got you in full focus somewhere? Can I zoom out? That's better. Number 6. Where's number 6? 4, 5, number 6. There it is, up at the top here, right? I'll do it again to let you see. This is number 6. Run my fingers down the box. There. Right. You can see before me. Ready? Oh. There you go. What is it? Another cream, I bet. Now this is, it's a hand cream there, and it is called Vervain. It's a Cooling Hand Cream Gel. This is absolutely lovely. It's really, really nice. It smells of lemon. Let me just... Oh, like a lemon scented cooling hand gel. Oh, smell that. Oh, it's like, I don't know, when I was a young girl, my father was a good gardener, and in his garden he had a greenhouse, obviously, and when I used to go into the greenhouse, he used to say feel this, and he'd make me feel a leaf of a geranium, and then he'd say smell it, feel it and smell it. So I'd feel it, and he says rub your fingers between the leaves and then smell it. So I'd rub my fingers between the leaves and then I'd smell it, and it was gorgeous. It was like lemon scented, and it was a lemon scented geranium, and this is just like the lemon scented geranium. It's lovely. So that just throws me back to being a young girl. Every time I use it, it throws me back to being a young girl when I was about 13, going and telling my dad that his coffee was ready and he could come in and get his coffee, and he was in his greenhouse with the lemon scented geraniums. That is absolutely lovely. It's not cheap. It doesn't say anything on it, but it's really, really nice one to have. So that's another one there. I'll only get about a few handfuls of that, but better than nothing, I should say. Now we have our Sherlock Holmes. Now, I haven't read this yet, so we've done the Advent. Now this one is called A Visit from St. Nicholas. I'm going to have a quick read. These rooms are haunted! A hysterical Mrs. Martin was Mr. Holmes' first customer on this St. Nicholas Day morning. Ever since we bought the flat a couple of months ago, we've had one disaster after another. The son of the previous owner terrorised us after the contract was signed because he hadn't had enough time to take leave of his old home. My husband was posted to another town out of the blue, and finally our daughter Colette fell down the stairs and ended up with a complicated fracture, which means she's been tied to the bed ever since. Mr. Holmes looked interested. But that's not all, is it? You're here for a different reason, aren't you? You're right. Colette insists that she's had a visit from St. Nicholas last night, and there was a brand new doll at the end of her bed this morning. No one else has the key to the flat. We had all the locks changed when the previous owner's son turned up. Oh, Mr. Holmes, we don't feel safe at home. When Mr. Holmes visited the young eyewitness, she was tucked up in bed beneath the huge eiderdown and had a plaster cast on her leg. Although the window was closed, the private detective noticed a strong draught in her room. The girl eyed him sceptically. You said Nicholas? No, but will you help me find him? Please tell me precisely what happened last night. Hesitating at first, Colette nodded. It was just how I always imagined it would be. At some stage, I woke up and saw someone standing next to the open window. I was frightened, but it was only St. Nicholas. He told me I would get a present if I was good. He told me to turn away, keep my ears and eyes shut, and count to 100 quietly. I must have fallen asleep while I was counting. I told Mummy everything this morning, but she was very upset. Perhaps St. Nicholas never brought her any presents. When Mr. Holmes left the room, Mrs. Martin looked at him questioningly. Can you make any head or tail of this incident, Mr. Holmes? Of course I can, said Holmes. And I'll stop there and tell you what happens at the end of the vlog. And now we'll go on to the third one. The third advent calendar, and the third one is our map of England. I gather a lot of you are enjoying this map of England. I've been reading all your little comments. A lot of you are enjoying it. One lady, oh, what's her name? Can't remember your name now. I'll put your name up there. I can't can't remember. My memory is going terribly, but anyway. She said Jersey isn't on, and Jersey is somewhere down here, and sadly Jersey has, I did message her back and say, are you now in lockdown? Because Jersey has, on the news, I heard on the news that Jersey is in total lockdown, and they will be in lockdown until past Christmas. And she was saying it was basically down to somebody, because Jersey is a tiny little island and it doesn't have many people on it, and apparently there was a wedding went on and they brought COVID and it's quickly spreading, so Jersey has been put on lockdown because if they don't do it they'll have total COVID on the island. Is that rain? I can hear rain. Anyway, so Jersey should be down here somewhere. I think it's round about there. It's just off France. Although it's closer to France than it is to England, it belongs to us. So number 5 is here. Listen to that noise. Can you hear it? That's the rain pouring down. I better be quick then. Number 5 is... Number 5 is the English version of the French Eiffel Tower. That'll give you a clue. The English version of the French Blackpool Tower. And this is Blackpool Tower. It's nowhere near as big as the French version, but we're very proud of it. So number 5 goes there. And the Blackpool Tower... what does it tell me about the Blackpool Tower? Number 5. Standing at 518 foot high, this iconic and popular tourist attraction was believed to have been inspired by the Eiffel Tower in Paris and first opened in 1894. This is where everybody goes to see the Christmas lights. The Blackpool Tower is in the town, and the Christmas lights, they have Christmas lights that go along the front parade, and everybody goes to see the Christmas lights. There's also an amusement centre there, I believe. I've been there once and I vowed never again, because that was when my daughter was about 3-year-old and we were on this thing that whizzed around and she nearly fell out, and I'm holding onto her coat, and I thought, that's the last time I go on anything like this. Anyway, this it's where Strictly Come Dancing often has their final. So if you're a Strictly Come Dancing fan, this is where the final is, in Blackpool. Although it's not in Blackpool this year because of the COVID. They're doing it in I don't know where it is, but they're not doing it in Blackpool. That's a very brief one for you. And now I'm going to give you the answer to this this visit from St. Nicholas. This is Sherlock Holmes who is talking here. All the misfortunes of the past few months are directly connected to last night's curious incident, he said. It can only be the son of the previous owner who broke into Colette's room last night. But let's start at the beginning. The previous owner dies. His son inherits the flat, but has no need for it and so sells it. Later on he receives some new information. Now this is where he's deducing it. Powers of deduction. He receives some new information. The memoirs of the previous owner or some forgotten diary appears, and it suggests that his father has hidden something in the flat, presumably cash or gold, for sparse times ahead. According to the law, any treasure found in the flat now belongs to you, Mrs. Martin, since you bought the place. But he's not prepared to accept that. Using different excuses, he tries to gain access to your flat and fails. Next, he uses his connections to have your husband sent away and transferred so that the flat is empty quite often, and he can break in more easily. Before he's able to realise this plan, Colette falls and breaks a leg and has to stay in her bed. Her room is exactly where the treasure is hidden, no doubt. Our man remains undaunted and looks for a way to search for the hiding place with your daughter present. When he discovers that the child believes in St. Nicholas, he comes in through an open window without scaring her. He must have had exact information concerning the hiding place if he thought he'd be able to find it in under 100 seconds. We will know if the plan worked as soon as we've searched the area thoroughly. First of all, I think we should see what's causing the draft in your daughter's room, which will perhaps lead us to a hiding place in the wall. There you go. It was the son of the previous owner's son wanted to find out where the money was, and that gives me a good link to my father. My mother's brother was a bachelor, and he lived in a big house in Newcastle. Him and his sister, who was a spinster, they lived in this big house, a big terraced house that was 3 floors. And when my father used to go and visit them, he'd often go in the bedroom where the uncle was, because they tended to live in their bedrooms, and he'd go and see him in his bedroom. And my uncle told him one day, he said, very Geordie accent, he says, hint that wall, he says, I've got some gold sovereigns, so definitely you can sell this house without getting them out. Which translated, that's Geordie, meaning behind that wall there are some gold sovereigns, so don't go and sell the house before you get them out. So when my uncle died at the ripe old age, well, even when my uncle died, my father said, we can't sell, and I think my auntie went first, then my uncle died, and my mother had to sell the house, had to empty the house and sell it, and they were just trying to empty it, and my dad said, I've got to find those sovereigns, I've got to find those sovereigns. And he opened the wardrobe, and the wardrobe had it was wallpapered on the back. There wasn't a back to the wardrobe, but it was wallpapered. And he searched, and he says, well, the only thing I can think of is that it's behind the wallpaper in the wardrobe. And when he pulled the wallpaper, there were bricks there. So then he had to start chiselling away at the bricks. And he found, by chiselling away at the bricks, he found about 50 sovereigns. So, but every time, I mean, I just said to him, I said, why on earth did he put them? He actually had them cemented behind the wall. But that's amazing what funny things we do. I mean, some people put them under their mattress, some people under the carpet, some people under the floorboard. His was behind the wall. So, a very quick one. So I'm going to love you, and I'm going to leave you, and I'll catch you, fingers crossed, tomorrow. Bye.